and welcome to today's video. I'm Jo, and today we're going to be talking about this book, okay? One for Sorrow. This is the first book in the Isabel Fielding series by Sarah A Denzil. Now, I have read some Sarah A Denzil work before, which I absolutely loved as well. I am definitely fast becoming a fan of this author, okay? If you like psychological thrillers, then you want to check out her stuff. Seriously. Okay? So, here we go. What can I tell you about this? We have our protagonist, who is Leah. Okay, Leah Smith. She works as a nurse in a high security psychiatric facility. One of her patients is Isabel Fielding, who was accused at 14 years of age of having killed and mutilated 6-year-old Maisie Earnshaw. Okay, but Isabel seems anything but a psychotic killer. So, Leah starts to have doubts about whether the girl is actually innocent or not. And she's not the only one as well. There is also a blogger, James Gorden, who he's been writing a blog about the murder, and he believes that the girl is actually innocent, that it wasn't her that committed the murder, and he has all these like conspiracy theories and things, and chats in the comments of his true crime blog about all this kind of stuff. So anyway, as Leah spends time with Isabel, she starts getting all these doubts and everything. We also have more backstory about the Fielding family. And basically they are quite a weird family. They've got lots of stuff going on, which throws further doubt onto the whole situation. Okay, Leah also has a particular situation of her own in her own private life. Her father killed her mother, and she and her brother Tom therefore they've moved to this new place, and she's moved over to this new psychiatric ward where she's being a nurse and everything, and she's just trying to struggle to like put her life together. They have they're poor, they do not have a lot of money and things, so they move into this old cottage on a farm, and they're trying to make the best of things, but it's not easy, and there's a lot of trauma and everything else that's connected with that. Now, whilst I don't want to give spoilers, I do want to give some trigger warnings, okay? So, obviously, we have a young child who gets murdered at the beginning, so that could be a trigger warning for you. But also, there is lots of talk about various different types of abuse in this. So we're talking both physical abuse in the sense of violence, but also sexual physical abuse, also mental abuse like in its vastest scale comes into play in this book. There's also questions about how can I put this without giving away too many things, about pregnancy at a young age. There is also, this is a lot about the fact of when it comes to different behaviors and things, how much of that is like genetically passed on to you in your DNA, and how much of it is a result of trauma and the way that you're being brought up and things like this. Book opens up a lot of questions. This could be a good book for a book club, I feel, because it does bring up so many different arguments in it, and there's some really tough topics in this one. I thought it was done amazingly well. I gave this one a 4-star because it lost just a tiny bit for me over some very small things, but that I don't know. I don't know. It's mainly involving the Isabel's dad. That's kind of where it lost a little bit for me. As her family goes, I think the brother was done very well and portrayed everything that he needed to portray in that. The father was to a certain point, and then I don't know. And also the mother, I feel there's a lot more to her, but this is the first book in a series, okay? So maybe there'll be more about her come out in the second or third book in the series. As you can see from the title, 1 for sorrow, so it's based on the rhyme, 1 for sorrow, 2 for joy, 3 for a girl, 4 for a boy, etc, etc. Okay, in fact, Isabel has a bit of a fascination with birds in general, and so it's all tied in to that, which I thought was done really clever. I liked the connection with the title of not just this book but the other books in the series as well, and how it connects in to the story but also to the characters. Okay, so I thought that was done piece de la resistance. But anyway, yes, I thought that was really good. I also like the cover for this. I don't know if you can see that properly. I don't want to get too much glare on it. I always get the glare coming off. But also that ties in nicely. It's very simple. It's very to the point, but you know, the feathers in the background that kind of almost look like knives at a certain way of looking at it. So I thought that was done brilliantly and definitely sets the tone for the book and links in nicely with the book in general. I think Leah, I'm gonna explain why this, because this should really be like a 5-star, but it's not. It's a 4-star for me because what I said about the dad, but also with Leah, I really liked the character and her whole story and everything. I mean, it was a page turner of a book, this one. But at the same time, I don't know, I still feel like I'm missing something for her, which again, I don't know, maybe things will be filled in later on. I don't know. Also, when it comes to Seb, who is a farm guy who rents the house to Leah and Tom, his character, I mean, it was very consistent and liked it and worked well for the general setup, but at the same time, I felt he was like missing something as well. He could have been a bit more to him, if you follow. So anyway, overall, I thought this was a really good book. If you do like psychological thrillers, then I suggest not just reading this one, which I do highly recommend, but also checking out the other books by this author. Like I said, I have reviewed some of her other books. She did Poison Orchids, which I really enjoyed. I will link up to other reviews that I've done for the author. Because I'm really liking her stuff, and it's definitely now an author name that when I do see books come up for her, then I'm like, okay, I want to read that. Okay, so if you do like this genre, check it out. Anyway, that is it for today. Thank you for watching. Please click the subscribe button if you haven't already. Get those notifications coming your way, and while you're here, give this video a like, because it all helps with the algorithm. And we all know we love to help with the algorithm, don't we? So yes, please do that, and please jump down into the comment section below as well and let me know, have you read any books by this author? Have you read the other books in this series? Are they as good as the first one? Is it worth reading the entire series? I think I probably will, because like I said, I am definitely enjoying this author, and I did enjoy this book, so I'm definitely intrigued to see what happens next with these characters. Yeah, so that is it. I will catch you in the next video. Bye!